I lay there, in my bed, drifting away to sleep, and I hear what seems to be a creak upon the wooden floor. I pull my blanket over my head and I imagine different creatures of all shapes and sizes that could easily kill me. They have all plagued my nightmares for the past few nights. However, my knowledge of horror situations was quite large, as I had listened to and read countless horror stories on the internet. So I slowly reached for my revolver, loaded with 2 silver bullets, one for the creature and one for myself in case my plan fails. As I pulled down the blanket from my head, I saw nothing. I sighed in relief, putting the gun back onto the stand at the side of my bed. I closed my eyes. The feeling of restlessness had gone away. That is, until I heard the creak again. This time, it was followed by a haunting and insane laugh. I then heard the jingle of bells. I peeked again, and standing there, in my doorway, was a man in a clown costume, his eyes glowing in the dark. I felt my breath leaving my lungs, and I realized, no, it can't be, I'm not ready. I saw Dokeshi standing there, holding my laptop and my headset in hand. Get up, scaredy bird! It's Terraraven, Dokeshi. I don't give a fuck, scaredy bird! You have something you need to do. How else do you expect to keep your viewers safe if you don't tell them how to survive scary situations? Well, record, damn it! Okay. Alright, so you're being followed by a creepy clown fucker while walking down a street at night. Only the streetlights are all that illuminate the street. Well, Mr. or Miss Protagonist, here are 30 rules on what to do in a creepypasta scenario. Rule number 1. If you find yourself in the woods at night and a tall faceless man with tentacles is following you, rip your fucking shirt and make a blindfold. Then proceed by covering your own eyes. Hey, what you can't see can't hurt you, right? Well, except for that tree in front of you. You might want to watch out. Rule number 2. If you're in an abandoned asylum at night by yourself, take the time to figure out what the hell are you doing there in the first place. Rule number 3. If a boy with a fucked up face and a permanent smile tells you to go to sleep, get your shit and go, no reason to hang around. Rule number 4. Don't buy any games that have weird colors for their cartridges, names written in marker on it in place of its original picture, whatever, or from any strange creepy men. Enough said. Rule number 5. If your game starts to act ominously, eject that bitch and smash it with a hammer, melt it in the fire, tie it to a rock, and then proceed by throwing it into a lake. Rule number 6. If you go online and find a game given an odd name with .exe at the end, then just don't fucking download it, for the love of Slendy. Rule number 7. If you see a black and white winding toy box that reads, Laughing Jack in a Box, don't wind it. Just burn it in the fireplace or wherever it's safe to burn a fire. Rule 8. If something tells you not to turn around, it's probably safe to turn around. Unless you're against a wall. Rule number 9, and this is a long one. Never, never commit to any rituals that have to do with demons or giving away your soul. If you have to sign your name in blood, which should never be the case in most scenarios with people, they're usually just okay with regular ink. Well then, take the time to ask what you're doing with your life and why is it so important that you need to make deals with demons. Rule number 10. Things in Europe won't harm you if you're in America. Rule number 11. Things in America won't harm you if you're in Europe. Rule number 12. If you see a picture of a dog with a bright, toothy smile, take that as a symbol that you probably need to brush your teeth. I mean, dental hygiene is a wonderful thing. Rule number 13. If a voluptuous young woman who's covering her mouth and has yellow cat-like eyes asks you if she's pretty, tell her that she's average. Rule number 14. Never fall for slender syndrome. Being a mindless zombie for someone who can be portrayed in countless hentai forums as a sex icon is never pretty. Rule number 15. When a girl just pops into reality and has black hair covering her face, and just so happens to be in the middle of the road, just floor it. I mean, honestly, who wants Girl Scout cookies this time of year? Rule 16. If a toy Furby is talking on its own, telling you to, quote, die, 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 just repeat the phrase back to it. Firmly place it in a 10 by 10 baking tin and put it in the oven for 320 degrees. And make sure to preheat that oven for 5 minutes. Hey, have a little fun with it. After it's done, cover it in peanut butter and give it to good old Sparky. Rule number 17. If a creepy man tells you that he can get you anything in your wildest dreams at the price of your soul, refer to rule number 9. Rule number 18. If a clown is in a sewer and tries to stop you so he can talk to you, just walk away because a senile old man living in feces and wearing clown outfits are probably serial rapists that have parental issues. Rule number 19. If you hear chanting in the woods behind your house, for the love of Slendy, do the intelligent thing and dial 911 alerting the authorities of this stuff, okay? Rule number 20. If your significant other stands above you and stares down at you smiling in a deranged manner, maybe it's time to hire a divorce lawyer or a marriage counselor. Probably the first one. Rule number 21. If a well is on your TV and a girl crawls out of said well, and then proceeds with staring at you through your screen, throw that TV out of a window and light your place up with a match because there's no reason to be like any celebrity in America and lose your life to the big screen. Rule number 22. Don't go to any cursed places that you have no reason to be at in the first place. I mean, unless you have a death wish. Even then, I'm sure there's at least one person who cares about you. Rule number 23. If an old woman is pulling on your shower curtain and is stark butt-ass naked holding a letter opener while you're in the shower, you should probably realize by now that she's a sick pervert and you should probably throw that shampoo bottle at her head. Also, what are you doing? Spray scalding hot water at her head. What the fuck? I mean, burn the face, bro. Rule number 24. When chased by a murderer in a mask, take the time to realize that he's taking his sweet time walking. So maybe you should take the time to catch your breath, pull out your phone, and same as rule number 19, call the goddamn authorities. And if you don't have a cell phone or there's no cellular service, keep on going. I'm sure he'll get fed up. I mean, even patient killers will stop following eventually. Right? Rule number 25. Never trust a man at a meat plant asking if you want a personal tour. Politely decline and bolt. That's probably not porky selling. Rule number 26. If you see a picture of a girl holding up a peace sign and she's oddly alluring, but can't seem to find her or anyone who knows her, then you should probably send that picture through a shredder. Rule number 27. If a pixie asks you to follow it into the forest, you should probably turn a blind eye. Somebody probably drugged the punch, and you should use the nearest newspaper. Rule number 28. If you get an email or text from someone you don't know with a rather curious subject, don't click on it. It's spam. I mean, even if it's from a different dimension, it's still fucking spam. Rule number 29. If you get a call from a man who says that you have 7 days to live, ask him what the winning lottery numbers are, cause goddamn there's a nice car in that dealership down the street. Rule number 30. Don't. Whatever you do, don't turn around.